Hey, it's JC1424 once again with my top 10 songs of 2018. Keyword is my, not the. But this is my second time making a video like this. I did one at the end of 2017. We had 10 years, and then there was some Nothing More, Linkin Park, Theory of a Dead Man, or Theory as they're now known. I don't know if they're planning to go back, but yeah, we had some pretty great songs in 2017. And I don't know, do I like this list more than that one? Probably, because it's more recent and I'm still very attached to these songs, all of them. But before we even go talking about those, let's just have ourselves a few honorable mentions.
You have never been more beautiful than you are now, and you don't even know. Save my breath, 'cause no one is listening. There's no today if there's no tomorrow. Wake up! Pull yourself together, speak up! 'Cause no one heard your name.
Hoobastank is not an artist I ever thought I'd be listening to again, aside from The Reason, Out of Control, or Right Before Your Eyes from the Daredevil movie soundtrack like 15 years ago. But I found this song, the lead single for their new album, in my recommended, and I listened to it. And at first I wasn't that into it, but I started to recognize its instrumental strengths. It was very catchy and had a cute message, but I mean, once I started having it grow on me, it didn't go any further than what I was seeing right there. Then there was Save Your Breath by Five Finger Death Punch. How they managed to even come close to being on this list, I think they were the closest out of all the songs in my honorable mentions, is beyond me. But this song had a contrast from being menacing to motivating with this major key change whenever it gets to the chorus. And the lyrics, they're not so obnoxious and uninspired as usual. Like, it's still obnoxious and aggressive, but it actually has something pushing it. And then we've got Black Soul by Shinedown, which for the longest time was like my favorite freaking song all year whenever it came out with the rest of the album. And I think this is still my favorite song on the album, but at first it was just like, golly, I love this adrenaline rush. But I mean, after a while, that adrenaline rush over and over again when listening to the song is not that big of a deal. And so I don't love it nearly as much as I did whenever I was listening to it for like the first couple of weeks. Now that all of that is out of the way, we can start talking about my actual top 10 songs of 2018. We'll start off with number 10, and we'll make our way down number 1 as we go through the video. So, this first song I'm going to be telling you guys about is one that's coming from a metal artist that's been in the scene for over 50 years, last I heard, and they still have not made it into the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure you can guess it. Judas Priest with Never the Heroes.
Never the heroes. We were made to fight.
This song is the newest a classic could ever be, just because it sounds like something from the late 80s or the early 90s, when in all reality, it came out just this year. It is an anthemic cry to acknowledge the difference between hero and warrior, kind of like Hero of War by Rise Against, except this one is, an older sounding metal song, not acoustic like that. This one has less of a story to it. It's an anthem type song. And the guitars here, they're aggressive and almost as violent as needed to be just to express what the song is asking for. It's got these drums that started off, which are iconic for the song in its own way. I love that that's great. I love that. But now it's time to start talking about song number 9, which is Killing Ourselves to Live by Halestorm. This one is hard rock at its finest, with a crisp riff, some powerful chords, and one vicious solo. You go through the bridge and it's got these drums that are rolling like a fucking freight train. Kind of reminds me of Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, even though that is a post-grunge love song, cheesy, all talking about Superman or some shit. Even though I like that, this one works better with the whole metal/hard rock style as it goes to that bridge. The song is constantly changing moods because it's sad but enlightening, because the verses are darker and you get to the chorus and it's just more emphatic and emotional, or inspirational, I should say. And then you've got Izzy Hale, and she's always had some pipes, but I still think Love Bites is my favorite song by Halestorm to this day. So, let's start talking about number 8, which is Listening for the Silence by POD. Yeah, some people didn't even realize this artist still existed.
I swear I can hear it so clear, even though it's loud inside my head. So I'm silent.
In my opinion, POD has presented us with very cool execution of a track about paranoia, the way his voice emphasizes the haunting lyrics in the song as it builds up for that chorus, and then you get lots of energy. It's a driving rock, bunch of adrenaline, and then there's this layer of synchronization on the vocals that really pull everything together. It gives off this effect that, hearing voices in your head, big internal conflict, and I find the song to be a bit relatable because of that. Number 7 is In Another Time by Disturbed from their new album Evolution. I'm not sure if it's safe to say that this is the worst album that Disturbed has ever released, or if it's just more experimental than all the other ones, thus more difficult to get into for most people. But either way, this is the only song on the album that I can say that I truly loved, and so therefore it's made it onto this list. It's another mainstream metal track with big contrast between the verses and the chorus. It starts off hostile and annoyed, and then it transitions into being beckoning and curious. This is about the technology and the internet and wanting to go back to a time whenever it wasn't that big of a deal. Not everyone was arguing with random people on the internet and then updating their Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, whatever the fuck. And some of these are just outdated, I'm naming. But yeah, just wanting to go back to that time and people just being distracted instead of being actually in the world and actually having socialization or some shit. But yes, one thing I really love with the song musically is that it's got these guitars, drums, and electronics with constant changes in volume. Like one moment it's there and then it's not, and then it's like constantly trading things out, and it's just a lot of fun for me to listen to. Number 6 is Blood by Breaking Benjamin from the new album Ember. I loved this song whenever it first came out, and then it grew on me like crazy. This is a song about living with your bad past and then putting up with the dark side that it supposedly gives you. But this song feeds off of that energy with these alt-metal guitar styles and tons of great execution on these guitar riffs that I really am attracted to. Then you've got the vocal work from Benjamin Burnley, which is, in my opinion, the most brilliant that it has ever been, because the scream singing here, it's more than, I think, any other Breaking Benjamin song that I've ever heard. I don't know any other song where there's this much in there. And then even the vocal melodies, they're also beautiful in the song whenever it's going through the verses. Next up is number 5, Drone by Alice in Chains. A sludgy, jazzy rock masterpiece defining a personality going through evolution of character due to routine life. And I guess you could say that that can be really exhausting just because it doesn't feel like it's worth living anymore. But this song has a very progressive attitude. It is written in 3/4 time, and then enter thirds for the bridge, and it's got some great solo in there. This song is very in the moment for me. Like at first I'm thinking, oh, I don't really into that song very much, but whenever it comes on, I start swaying to it, and I can really dance to the song, even though it's not a dance song. It's more of a song that you could use to recover from the fact that life is feeling pointless. Like the song is saying, it's still pointless, but you can listen to me and I'll make you feel better. It's that kind of song. Now, number 4 is The Abyss by 3 Days Grace, the final song on their new album, Outsider.
Into the abyss, lost inside my head. I open up the door.
In my opinion, this is the best we've gotten from 3 Days Grace since Matt Walsh arrived like 4 or 5 years ago, explaining the insanity of losing your mind and just falling in depression, becoming numb or not feeling so alive anymore, that kind of song. And it's nothing too complex to comprehend, but it is ever so creative with the creepy verses, and then the chorus comes in. It is the most fierce thing I have heard all year. I'll say it right now, it is the best chorus all year, in my opinion, at least. And then, the sonic guitar solos towards the end of the song, and then these electronic effects that you have, and that screech, it ends off the album so well, and especially the song, it makes it just that much more of, 3 Days Grace being creative instead of just, throwing something together to get some money every 3 years like they always do. Number 3 is Fascination by Red Sun Rising. There have been so many times during this year, whether it's the morning, the evening, afternoon, whatever, whenever I just get into my car and I'm in the specific mood to listen to this song just because I find it to be so beautiful, mysterious, and exciting all in one. It's like a freaking musical birth whenever the guitar comes on, then the drums come in, the bass, and things get louder, and then everything just comes to a stop, and it's like the song has been born, and then it begins. Like, it's like the best start to an album that I have probably ever heard. Maybe it's not the best album in the world, and it's not really even to me, but still, like this song right here, it really does start out the album so freaking well. This is a song about losing touch with ones that you love or know through like an addiction, whether it be drugs or another individual person, or maybe if like you're a bug, a light in the sky. It's like that kind of feeling to it, fascination, and then just leaving the ones that you know because of that. But this artist, Red Sun Rising, they have a way of making old genres feel new and refreshing. Like this song, you listen to it and you know it's new and it feels new, and the genre that it's in is actually very old, like 20, 25 years, because they're trying grunge, indie rock, and stuff like that, little hard rock here and there. But this song, as it comes to an end with the percussion, it really does feel so appropriate, with just all kinds of different things on the drums, and the clacking and the clapping, and just all that stuff as it fades out. Everything about the song is just so perfect. There's just absolutely nothing wrong with this song, and yet it's number 3. Number 2 is Disillusioned by A Perfect Circle.
Tuning into each other, lift all higher.
It's a song about people always being distracted from the world itself, and it's never so much hopeless as it is the complete opposite. It feels like it's happy but not too happy, and almost sad but not exactly there yet. It's a really mesmerizing feeling for me to just listen to this song, and it's very similar to In Another Time in terms of meaning, but that one was specifically on technology and internet as the topic, and this one is being much more broad. It's about just being anything and just stopping and observing the world around us and just absorbing the energy or some deep shit. But yeah, the song is very relaxing rock with some fine piano and then some sweet cymbals, and then it evolves into some ballad portions where the vocals and the piano are isolated, and I just love those parts because I can hear us singing so clearly, and the piano is just amazing, and everything about it just becomes beautiful. And I finally like it whenever it transitions back into the rock because it's relaxing, and everything about this song is just great. And it blows me away to think that this song was at the top at the very beginning of the year, and it lasted all the way to be number 2 at the very end. But the same can be said about number 1, a song that came out on January 1st, 2018, and that is Lucid Dream by Owl City.
Do you believe life is a lucid dream? Well, that's how you study the stars.
It's just that Owl City hasn't been this poetic or surreal in a long time. Give or take 6 years with albums like All Things Bright and Beautiful or The Midsummer Station. But with this song in particular, the way that it's constantly transforming the sound, just adding things onto it, building up that energy, and then it gets to that chorus, or just before it gets there, it becomes quiet and it has to take time to build up again. It's just teasing you to create for a more satisfying musical experience because it's finally giving you what you want after teasing you at it or something, or just getting you at your peak. There's something else that's like that word that we're not going to be talking about in this video. But yeah, this song is portraying this blurred line between dreaming and reality, where dreams you can look in the future and imagine a situation and try to make it your way, or imagine what could go wrong, and you can look back in the past and you can think of things and how they could have been better or how they actually were and just stuff like that. But in reality, you can use that information, you can use those emotions to provide you motivation to actually do what you're trying to do, or you just manipulate the situation. I don't know. But yeah, this song is really portraying that in a way that I can truly admire, and I just get this song that way. It's something that I love listening to. I can listen to a song before I go to sleep, before I go to work. It's one of those inspirational speakers in the gym at high school, except it's actually leaving a mark and just getting stuck in my head on a freaking loop. But yeah, that's my number 1, Lucid Dream by Owl City. Thank you guys for watching my top 10 songs of 2018. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and see me talk about all these songs. Let me know which ones your favorites were on the list, or maybe something that did make the list, honorable mentions, or let me know how many of the songs on the list you hate or almost hate. Anything. Dislike the video if you hate my opinion. Like it if you appreciate my opinion. I don't know. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want to. It's a free website. This is not a country. I don't know. Whatever. The link down to the playlist to listen to all these songs, from 10 all the way to 1 is in the description down below. See you next time. That's that. And 2018, over.